Boogie, drop that beat.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Talking Out Loud with Miss Talkative. Everything I say is my own opinion, alleged, and strictly entertainment purposes. Remember, I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know what you think. Finally, the courts are stopping Martell from bullying Melody through the courts. Finally, somebody is listening and actually reading over the material instead of just signing off or having a biased opinion. Finally, the courts are paying attention and listening to Melody. Because Martell, he thought he was really doing something by filing those opinionated allegations against Melody. And I know, I can just imagine when his lawyer received Melody's lawyer response, I bet you he was on the phone immediately dialing Martell. Not to speak over the phone, but he needed to come in for a sit down because either he did not know the history, or Martell was probably saying, I could tell you later, or he had to have Martell come in for a sit down so they can, so he can learn the background. What is he actually walking into? What has Martell got him into? But I just can't imagine a lawyer adding all of those allegations to an ongoing case without the proof up front to back it up. To me, the lawyer had to have known that it was wrong and that he needed some type of evidence, or he would be forced to omit it. But then again, the lawyer probably explained all of this to Martell, but he wasn't listening. And Martell, with his slick self, always thinking he right or trying to get one over on people, he probably didn't tell his lawyer to add all of his BS until after he made sure that retainer was paid. Martell probably played it cool, calm, and collected up until he realized that retainer check had been paid. Martell played it safe long enough for the lawyer to take him on as a client. And once Martell locked him in, he started being Martell, the true Martell. I just wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were even more allegations that Martell wanted to add, but the lawyer had to convince him to remove some of them. Because we all know that Martell's favorite number is 20. And in his mind, why can't he use 20 opinions if he thinks he can get away with it, if he thinks it's going to ruin Melody or, harm Melody in some type of way? So like I said, we all know Martell, he always go for the gusto of 20. So he probably did have more allegations wrote up for the attorney to add, but the attorney probably was like, look here, Martell, we're not doing all of this. We can't. And they probably had to flip a coin or go through some that he was like, okay, I need you. Do you have something to back it up? Martell was probably sitting there like, yeah. I'll bring it. I'll bring it. Don't worry about it. He was probably convincing that lawyer that he was going to bring the evidence, just like he keep on convincing this judge that he's going to go for his psyche valve, just so he can move on, telling people what they want to hear just so they can do what he wants them to do. But my question is, I wonder, is this the same lawyer that's going to be defending him in both of his court cases? Or does he have a different lawyer for his trial in December? Because I know once Martell heard that the allegations that the lawyer put in there, he probably wanted to change attorneys, but because he probably spent all his money on the retainer for this one, he probably can't. And seeing as though that Love and Marriage Huntsville is not filming at the moment, means that he's probably out of funds. So he needs to hold on to this lawyer to make sure that he have a lawyer to go to court in December. Because if he get a if he have to wind up with a court-appointed lawyer because he too stupid to hang on to a lawyer, Martell is cooked. That's very right, so he should be. But I just don't see a public defender giving his case that much attention as one that he's actually attempting to pay, one that he's retained. Because I know doggone well after Martell retained that lawyer, he probably ain't gave him another dime, especially after he found out that his stuff didn't go through with the courts. But while Martell is focused so heavily on whom or if Melody is dating, still trying to get the courts to give him some of her money, and while at the same time trying to stop her from making her money, you would think that he would be preparing or retaining lawyers so he can prep and get ready to fight for his freedom. Because the jurors, they don't know him. They don't know the backstory of everything that he's went through. They don't know how much of people think that he's a nice guy. They don't know Carlos. They don't know anything. They're going to be instructed to concentrate on the facts at hand. Nothing else is going to matter. Not about how many babysitters he thinks she's had, how many times she's went out of town with the kids, how many times he didn't get first rights of refusal. Nothing is going to matter. Only it's going to come down to, is he guilty of harassing communication? Nothing else is going to matter. And the fact that Martell was already convicted by a judge, I don't know, but I believe it may be brought up and taken into account as well. That's just my opinion. I don't know. But Martell, he thinks that him asking for a trial, that he's going to be able to put on one of his little tight suits and, run down there to the court, and the jurors are going to be all, ladies, because when they always tell you it's going to be your jury, it's going to be a jury of your peers. So Martell is probably thinking, oh, these going to be black women around my age that's going to think I'm fine. Let me put my suit on and put my button up on and unbutton it a little bit and put some of Melody 7th Avenue oil on my chest so they can be distracted by looking at me. Or he's thinking that it's going to be some men around his age or some men that have actually gone through some issues with an ex and it didn't come out favorable to him, to them. Martell is not thinking that it could be some women, some young women around his age, and they may think that he is fine. But he's forgetting that these women may also have gone through things with an ex, and they probably tried to get out or whatever. It just wasn't favorable for them. Or they have daughters that they're like, oh my goodness, how can this punk, I'm not letting this punk get away with this. It could also be some men that have gone through things, but never as gutter as what Martell doing. Men that are raising their daughters, or men that have daughters in similar situations, and they're stuck on the sidelines with their hands tied, not knowing how to help. See, Martell, when he put his freedom in the hands of 12 people versus that judge that had already just gave him a slap on the wrist, Martell should have took that as a satisfactory win. It didn't eliminate him from the crime. It did, at least he was being held accountable, but Martell didn't think that he doesn't think that he should be punished at all. And that's where his downfall is coming in. And I know people saying, well, the jurors, they're supposed to stay on topic, stay on the facts. People do, but people are also human. People are also human. And if they've went through things, or they know people that have went through things, and they see in that prosecutor paint Martell out to be this monster that he is, Martell is cooked. He should have stuck with the punishment that he was already given, because I highly doubt that if he loses, that he will be allowed to say, never mind, let me take the first outcome. But that's what he gets. Hopefully Martell will get a dose of taking it too far with the courts. That's just my opinion. I'm just talking out loud. Please like, share, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know what you think.